You must have something no one actually has or possess that kind of skill. Because you were able to pull that thing that you were supposed to be dead for so long and now you're alive.
Welcome back to the Runaway Mayor podcast. On October 8th, Jessica Francisco appeared at the Senate inquiry. After helping the Philippine National Police and the Senate with the Alice Guo case, it's been discovered that she's also a fugitive with a false identity. Mary Ann Maslog was involved in a corruption case back in 1998, revolving around textbook purchases.
In year 2000, and the Senate found her liable. The same person, Madam Chair, Mary Ann Maslog. The Senate found her liable for false testimony, corruption of public officials, punishable under the revised penal code, violation of the anti-graft law, violation of Presidential Decree number 46, which makes it punishable for private persons to give gifts to government officials and employees on any occasion, falsification of public document, and tax evasion. So, Madam Chair, hindi ko alam kung we need to give more time to this rascal, Madam Chair.
After a warrant was issued for Maslog, she evaded justice in the United States, committed more crime in Florida around 2010, and was reported dead in 2019. But now she's here, alive and testifying. The truth is stranger than fiction. The Senate was stunned to find her connections to the Alice Guo case.
What?
Sino?
An Indonesian law enforcement officer texted you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Really? Are you kidding?
Sa bayang bigkasan
Alam
na
mo,
tayo,
oh.
SP Pro Tempore.
Alam mo, Mary Ann Maslog, mas sinungaling ka pa rito kay Alice Guo eh.
Sir, I can show you the text.
Senator Hontiveros confirmed that Maslog has been involved in the Senate's investigation.
I actually learned, Miss Maslog, nung kinailangan ko umakyat sa opisina sandali, you tried to pull another fast one right here in the Senate. I remember that meeting. We remember that meeting, Miss Maslog, delegation from the Indonesian National Police. And you came to my office posing as a consultant of their embassy kasi gusto niyong sumama sa meeting na yon.
While Alice was on the run, the Philippine police pursued several routes to extract her from Indonesia. Around the time that Sheila Guo and Cassandra Ong were captured, Mary Ann was included in a plan to contact Alice and ask her to surrender. Maslog was expected to reach Alice through Mayor Dong Calugay, who some believe was Guo's romantic partner. Senators dwelled on this.
Are they business partners, for example?
I don't think so.
Your Honor, I was told po that they had a relationship.
Oh.
Told by?
Kasi po,
What kind of a relationship?
ang pagkakaalam ko po, sir, but I've never seen them together. But I will tell you, ang pagkakaalam ko po, that naging mag-on po sila. That's
Okay,
it.
so that's why you asked Mayor Calugay paano kontakin si Guo Huaping.
Mayor Calugay didn't want to get involved.
Actually po, in fairness to Mayor Calugay, he said po, he does not want to involve himself.
Okay,
And
so
he
paano
has
nyo
no
finally
way.
na-contact
He
si
said
Guo
po,
Huaping?
he has no way of contacting Alice.
So Mary Ann reached out to Alice Guo's lawyers. Again, this seemed an unusual chain of events. The Senate asked one of her lawyers about it.
She was coordinating with me and I was also coordinating with her for the surrender. Kasi si Alice wanted to surrender even during those days pa. Pero takot nga because of the threat. So fortunately, they came to me. So yun, there was a negotiation for the surrender. Until I learned that, yun na nga, sabi niya ni Madam Jessica, na,
Why were you trusting her? Why were you talking to her?
well, as mentioned by her, she was with top brass of the PNP. How can I not trust her?
Top brass?
Did you,
Sabi niya
did you know her
PNP
before?
IG.
Did you know her before?
No,
Yes,
no, Your Honor. I trusted her because she was with top PNP brass.
So she really was there in the middle of the talks. When the police general was brought in by Zoom, he he asked for a closed-door executive session.
If the committee will allow me, sir,
No. No.
I can reveal everything, sir, doon sa executive session as there are names implicated, sir. Actually, recorded yun, sir. Yung
May audio recording kayo.
Yes, Your Honors, during our debriefing with Alice.
Madam Chair, I think since we are already deep into this conversation, and it's we owe it to the Filipino people to
Yes.
know the details of this new. Hindi ako personally, I'm not in agreement to do an executive session.
Me too.
Dapat ho sabihin ho ngayon
Yes.
sa ating hearing.
Yes, I agree, Senator Sherwin.
Madam Chair, I
General,
also-
yes, SP Pro
I do
Tempore.
not agree with,
Yes.
to hold an executive session. The Filipino people ought to know what is happening, and this is a new revelation. You better start talking now, General.
So the events in her stories are mostly verified. The main difference is whether the police tapped Mary Ann for the job or if she inserted herself as some type of consultant. What doesn't make sense is, were the police sending a fugitive to catch a fugitive? Finding someone who could talk to Mayor Calugay without raising alarms? Or hiring her without doing any vetting? Whatever the case, the Senate was not impressed.
This case, you're the agent handler, she is the action agent. Paano to siya nakakuha ng linya doon sa Indonesian National Police? Without your knowledge, na ikaw mismo ang handler. Bakit nakadirekta siya doon?
The next day, Senator Estrada said that Mary Ann Maslog has been even more involved, maybe even helping with Alice's original escape.
Those are unverified reports. Well, I have read news reports that it may be possible that Mary Ann Maslog was instrumental in the escape of Alice Guo.
Senator De La Rosa believes that Alice and Mary Ann will ultimately try to get their freedom through political claims about the Pogo operations, specifically implicating him and former President Duterte.
I have an information. You cannot deny to me. I have a very, very accurate information na siya ay inuutusan ng somebody from Malacanang para papirmahin si Alice Guo ng affidavit implicating President Duterte, Senator Bongo, Senator Bato, and General Karamat as the people behind the operation of Pogo. I have a very, very A1 information.
Let's not forget about Alice Guo. The Al Jazeera spying claims have gotten more context. Shay's spy files were shared by a former cellmate, Wang Fugui, who was questioned by Senator Hontiveros.
郭华平并不是什么特殊的，只是正好有一份他的国安背景的资料在里面，他的情况和佘志良先生有很多相似的。
Wang answers, Alice was a spy, but not a special one. For the ending clip, I'll shout out the Chinese interpreter at these hearings, Carol Bataille, who has been highlighted on social media recently. She's a former pharmacist and reality TV contestant who has gone from interpreting weddings to these endless questions and investigations in the Senate.
Carol says she got an invitation from the Senate Committee on Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality upon the recommendation of a Chinese churchmate and a fellow pharmacist.
Nung unang schedule na tinanong niya, hindi ako available. But then, nag-reschedule daw yung hearing, dun ako naging available. Parang ano talaga, God's plan, arrangement and all.